you guys. Been in Run 8 for a while. Thought I'd come back, Trainsimworld 6. Just give it another shot, have a look at it, something a little different. I've already been messing around with it a little bit. First few hours I was doing some switching around on the Oak Point yard, just right down the tracks here, and this is my first stop. I'm bad about starting up train sim or Run 8, getting started and then not videoing any of it until I get into it. I actually haven't even been over the whole route yet. This is the new route. This is the Metro North route. Now this place here, Hunt's Yard, is massive. And from what I understand, what I've read up on, this is the largest food distribution network in the world. And I didn't know this because I come down here with only one engine. I thought this would be a simple little switch. And I got down here, you go through this, and it's really like this. I went and looked at some scenery. So, speed it up a little. Oh, another thing, I'm still learning. I done forgot a lot about. It's been so many months since I played Trainsimworld. I mean, I've forgotten. I got to relearn stuff again. But anyway, this is how it really is. And they park a lot of these trailers and stuff on the tracks. So a lot of these tracks, they're not using them 100%. Just like here, you know, these tracks go on down through here. You can still see the tracks, but they're covered up with trucks in real life, just like this. So they only use portions of it. But they get tons of these refrigerated box cars, and this is definitely a daily switcher in massive proportions, and probably, which I looked at some video, some screenshots. They may have a dedicated switcher down here. Probably not. They probably just switch them every day. They could have. But anyway, it goes way back in here. Now, I done come in here to switch this place, but I was not prepared for what I seen. And look at the amount of hopper cars and stuff. I'm definitely, yes, going to have a second engine when I come in here. Now, I'm big on Run 8. I'm big on freight. I mean, passenger's okay, but I just love freight. That's my bread and butter. I used to be a locomotive engineer and a switchman on a very large yard in North Alabama. That's my bread and butter, switching. We switched in a very big yard and a tight yard. Lots of switching, lots of car moving. So that's what I'm used to. And if you watch any of my Run 8 videos, which most all my videos are listed under the live section, just like this video will be, because I don't have a real fast internet upload speed, so it takes a while if I just do a video and then upload it. Streaming, as long as I'm not dropping frames, which I'm not showing to be today, is a lot easier on me. But like and subscribe. My videos are a little different than some, because every video I pretty much do it from a switchman, switchman's perspective, guy on the ground. I count down all the cars and everything I do. It's just natural for me, and I want to do it like that. So you kind of get a perspective of how it is actually on the ground switching cars. Now, the one thing about Trainsimworld I don't like, and I hope they fix it, is you can't drive the train and walk around on the ground. Literally walking around. You can float around and zoom around as a conductor on the ground and still drive the train at the same time, but you can't walk like Run 8. I just hope, TSW starts making some changes to just releasing every year a new version. Give us some new things, and that's, if you're going to do the freight, at least try to do it semi right. And, a simple thing like changing cars from loaded to empty. This should be real simple. I mean, Run 8 is what? It come out in 2014, and it's got all that. And here we are, 2026, and we still can't do that in this. I mean, you should be able to just click this car, change its status from loaded to empty, and like that. Right now, like say these cars here, I got downloaded these from the the formation creation tool. These are loaded cars. They're heavy, but when these cars get done, I just dropped these cars here. When they get done, they'll still be loaded when they should be empty. unless I delete all these cars, which I'll probably have to do if I want to do it like that, and then just put empties here. And you shouldn't have to do that. Come on, it's 2026 TSW. Let's get with it. But anyway, I came in here and I wasn't prepared, so I did grab 4 or 5 of these reefers. And what I'm going to have to do, and I know this is only for freight switching freaks, are you going to do this? But I got, which when I was switching back in the 90s for 7 years, we had a track list. And every time we moved cars around or whatever, we moved what track they, you know, where we picked, they come off of a track list and where we moved them to on a new track list. So I'm writing down everything in the car numbers. That's one thing I do like about TSW, they are doing right, is each car is individually numbered. It's a different number, so that's good. I'm writing all these down so I can keep up with it. And yeah, so I needed 2 engines coming in here to, because some of these hoppers over here need to go. I mean, look how many is over here. And I'm going to be keeping up with what I bring in and take out, because this is really all I'm going to be focused on is just the freight part. I may try the passenger part, but anyway, so we got all of these. I'm going to have to come back down here. It's not actually not too far from Oak Point. Once you leave Oak Point, you're here pretty quickly. So in real life, I'm not sure if they come back out on the main and then back all the way back down to Oak Point. They have to go a good distance. You can't really turn the engine around in here. So, but the way I'm going to do it, I got other places to switch. So I'm just going to do a full circle. And this is actually, I'm videoing this my first time of doing all this, because I haven't been through the whole route. I've looked around at different places that I'm going to be switching just to get an idea of what it's like in real life. So we got a reefer car back here we can swap out. Couldn't get to it today. Gonna have to come back and get to it. But this place is huge. Yeah, this is the largest food distribution location in the world. And this is Bronx, New York. It's Hunt's, I believe it's Hunt's Park. Yeah, it's massive. Look at it. So anyway, I just wanted to show you this. And again, I'm probably going to make a bunch of mistakes in this video because I hadn't been on Trainsimworld in a long time. But I wanted you to see this operation. You will spend a lot of time down in here doing this. And then I'll show you once we get back up in here. Now, this is a lot of scrap metal places here. And it would not surprise me if they occasionally drop a gondola here for scrap. And then, of course, it'll be in the way, but they'll move it out of the way when they come back down. Generally, they'll drop it on the way out, and then they'll load it up, have it ready for shipping out when they come back down in here again, usually the next day. I'm almost certain this is a daily switcher. So, here's what I'm doing. When the box cars are empty, I'm opening the doors. And they'll do that a lot in real life too. So I got the doors open, so these are identified as empty. And they'll stay like that until I classify them as loaded again. Alright, so this is all I brought out here. I wasn't prepared for this because I've still got a lot of switching to do, and I got to do a full circle on this northeast. But anyway, this is loaded hopper. Got this off Formation Creation. This is actually loaded. And of course, now the center beams, we got a lumber yard we got to stop at. You can clearly see these are loaded. So we'll be, once they come empty, we'll just swap them out with empty center beams. These are also loaded box cars. I believe the tank cars are too. But anyway, that's the way. I do like this about Trainsimworld. The graphics, which I got an RTX 4070 Ti Super 16 gig. It's a powerful card. But on run 8, it's just sitting there taking a break, smoking a cigarette. It ain't doing nothing. Trainsimworld 6, you can't see it right now. I'm getting 122 frames per second. Now, I loaded up Oak Point Yard, and then there was some AI trains brought a lot of cars in over at Oak Point. That's my home base. That's where I'm starting at and working at. Pretty much got that yard 75% full, and I'm still getting 70, 80 frames per second, sometimes 60. So as long as I'm getting close to 60, I'm happy. I mean, what I like about Trainsimworld, look at this, blowing around, and the audio is good, which Run 8's been improving, but just the graphics, I mean, this is what keeps drawing me back. I love Run 8, and I love what all you can do because I like American freight, and mainly in the Southeast. But I don't really care for the West stuff because I don't care about slow crawls up big mountains and stuff. And the scenery's better in the Southeast, in my opinion. It's not just all desert. But I don't like long runs, so when you're doing, that's why a lot of my videos, and I've got a few other Trainsimworld videos, a lot of it's in the Northeast because it's more compact and a lot more switching in smaller areas, not long routes, so I'm fine with that. I'm good with it. I mean, now here's another thing too. What I have found for Run 8, it's best to do timetable free roam. Start out on foot. Now there's a negative to that. Drink my coffee. Also, Sunday morning is the best time for me to stream. I seem to get a better connection that way. I was gonna go to fiber, but I backed out. So I'm still on my same 12 meg, 7 to 12 megabyte upload on my stream. So I got to make sure that I'm not dropping any frames or the video will be choppy. Let me see. Oh, we still good. I'm looking here at OBS. I'm still good. So, but anyway, the scenery is so much better in Trainsimworld. If I can just add a few more things, and I'm really trying to push it. I'm posting stuff. You know, it's getting there. This is doable here, but I want it to be better. But anyway, lost my train of thought because I got so much I've been talking about. But this will be my first time on the route, and I may run into problems. I'm taking this all the way up to Stamford because I need to be able to switch out a customer on the way back down that gets a couple of hoppers on my way back down from Stamford. And that's really the only place I see I can turn around up there, because you're not going riding the back of a car all the way up that way. It's a main line too. That's another thing. On these pasture routes, which is mostly in the Northeast, you gotta, you know, you can't be poking around. And a lot of this stuff's done at night. But, and I may have to delete some AI trains to get around. I don't know. I don't really like doing that, but we'll see. But we're at like, I don't know, it's probably 9:30 or 10 in the morning right now. Now the thing about doing the timetable free roam, you need to always back up your saves a lot, because of the way Trainsimworld saves, you could lose your progress easily. So try and back it up every time you play. Try and make a backup copy. Because it basically just saves your last sim activity. And you know, sometimes I do the Boston Sprinter freight over there. I do that. But anyway, now another thing too about the way I'm doing it, the timetable free roam. If you don't want to just do timetables, which I don't like just doing the same basic boring timetables, I like to just do the free roam, do it as I want to do it. You're pretty much stuck in a 24-hour cycle, so I can't change the time of day or any of that the way I'm doing it. So when it gets nighttime, I'm gonna have to keep playing the sim every time I get on it in real-time hours on the sim. So when it starts getting dark, I'm gonna have to go through the whole overnight progression, switching cars at night until it really becomes morning time again. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna have to play it as it plays out by the hour. So right now, I started out at 5 o'clock this morning. Everything's in the daytime, and I mainly did that because I'm new to this route and I hadn't been in Trainsimworld in a while, and I don't want to be fumbling around in the dark. So maybe by the time tonight gets here, and I have to operate the next 10 or 12 hours, however long it is in the darkness, I'll have a better idea of everything, where I'm at and everything. So now let's get back in that train. Oh, I know what I forgot. Got to turn on the TSW, the rail driver joystick interface. Forgot to turn it on, get it connected. Now we're connected. Now then. Close these windows, make it a little quieter. I don't like the horn in this thing. I need a new horn, a louder horn, a better horn. I think this one is improved, but I still don't like it. Trainsimworld needs to up their horns. These things can be a little finicky too, starting up, because sometimes when you go back to the sim, I mean, it's in the last state you left it. So, and I like doing the complete start, going back there, opening the doors, priming it, starting the engine. That's the way I like to do it. And then, of course, you got your breaker panel and all that stuff right here. So, yeah, I got the warning devices on. But anyway. Alright, let's see here. Let me show you what we're doing. Here we are. Now, I've done set up my route and got clearance. We're going all the way. Alright, let's see. Here's where we came from right here. That's Oak Point. And here is the massive distribution center. So, and I spent several hours here. I didn't video it, getting this yard in order. And there's businesses and stuff, a couple of businesses here. There's 3 different industry types here. You got to switch here right by the yard. So I spent several hours doing that. Came down here, was unprepared for what I seen down here. So we're going to be going all the way up here. Here's where they'll be getting 2 cars. Let's see what it's called. Yeah, Marvel siding, and they do get 2 hopper cars down here. And you can see that's probably 2 cars sitting here now. We're going to take those and then we're going to drop them too. I think I got 2 to drop. Anyway, but we got to get them on the way back down because see how the track is. But anyway, here's the issue. Which I don't have a ton of cars. I don't know, maybe 20 or so. But up here, I'm coming all the way up here to Stamford. Mainly because I want to see it. I've never been up here. But, I mean, they got a big yard here and a shop. But I got us coming in on this. We'll see what it looks like when we get up here. But see, right now, there's going to be stuff in the way when I get up here. But I got to be able to get turned around. I got to be able to drop cars and run around them and come around on the other end, probably by this track. I don't know. I may have to delete a few. We'll see. I don't like doing that, but I mean, I'm just getting started in this. So we're going to come back down, switch out. It's a maintenance away track spur there. We'll switch out these. And this, I don't know if this will all be in one video because we'll see. But then we got, oh, see, they got a train stopped here, I guess because of us. We got to get going. But then we're going to come down here. And honestly, I don't even remember. It may be in another video anyway. Maybe it's right here. Let's see what that is. Lumberyard, yeah. There's the lumberyard. We're going to drop some lumber off. I think they just got boxcars sitting there right now. But anyway, we're going to do that. And I don't think we do anything up here. Yeah, Yankees East Street. I don't think there's anything up there. Now, this Mott Haven yard here. They can take some stuff, and I think there's some stuff right in here. Gondolas and stuff. We'll see. We might can drop off. I don't know if we got anything to give them. I'm going to be better prepared next time. Right now, I'm just mainly learning the route. I don't want to video it. But anyway, let's see here. Harlem River transfer. I thought I could get to that. I can't get to that. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do. It sure ain't. See, I thought I was going to be able to get over on this. No. I thought I was going to be able to come down here on this. Okay, this is going to be a problem. So if I turn around, man, I don't know. What's up here? Mount Vernon yard track. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to come back to the yard. That's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to come back down after I switch out. But I gotta be able to get to this lumber yard, so I'm gonna have to come down here and come all the way up here. I don't know. You don't want to go in. I mean, you can turn around here in Grand Central. I don't think you want to do that, but I guess you could. I don't know. I just got a lot to learn about it. Sunnyside Yard. I've been there before. I know all about that. Mostly passenger cars. Oh well. We'll just do what we can. We got to get rolling because we're holding up some trains. I've been on Run 8 for the past several months, and it's a really good sim. Just the graphics ain't as good, but you know, the handling and stuff on just operating this locomotive and stuff, it's not really that bad. I mean, it was 28 years ago when I last done it, but it's about how close to how I remember it. The physics and everything, it's close. It's not as good as Run 8, but it's not totally arcade or anything like that. I mean, it's got some sim to it. It feels pretty close. You get, when you first taking off, you got all that weight behind you. You get a little bit of a surge, kind of a little lunge forward, especially if you got a bunch of liquid tank cars and stuff. I mean, it's not bad. And see, I brought all these containers because I was planning on going down there to the riverside, transfer for these, because it's a lot of containers down there too, but it's not going to happen, I don't think. I don't know, we'll just figure it out as it goes. This is kind of just getting a rough idea of everything. And you really don't know. You can't really move around as good in Trainsimworld to each location as good as you can in Run 8. I'm gonna change my path. I'm still learning, trying to remember how to do everything. Because I'm not getting my info screen up there. I'm not sure if it's something I'm doing or what. Go back in here and select this. Okay, there it is. Now see, I'm getting the info at the top. I wasn't showing that. And this is from a save from yesterday, so sometimes. So we got 24 miles. I got a lot more info. We're still coming out of that yard back there. That's why it's, all right, we just hit 20, so we're out of it now. That switch needs to be thrown. You can't leave that like that. I guess it would change it if it needs to. But I just know in Run 8, you can't leave them like that. Like I said, this is my first time on this route. I mean, I'm seeing all this for the first time. Slow down a bit. That alerter wouldn't acknowledge while I was on that map screen. You know, the momentum, the kind of the rocking back and forth. I mean, it feels pretty good. I don't know if they've made any improvements with this new route, or, you know, there has been some updates. But even in the earlier versions, I mean, it didn't really feel that bad to me. Best I can remember from 28 years ago. I mean, it's a simulator on a computer, you know, it's kind of hard to do a true comparison to real life. I operated three different locomotives, MP15, the one that's in my signature profile, and then I operated I think it was either a GP38 or GP40, I don't really remember. It was one of those 4-axle, no dynamic brakes, Norfolk Southern engine. Like I said in my other videos, I operated that. Our company ended up leasing one of those because we needed more horsepower, so last 2 years I drove one of those. I do remember it didn't have dynamic brakes. I'm pretty sure of it. Because when they brought it to us, I'm already up to 28. Now we're going downhill, no wonder. I'm an air guy too. I don't like to use a whole lot of dynamic brakes, but I mean, I'll use it sometimes. It's a lot of industry through here. But not a lot of industry for rail cars. Use a little dynamic. Look at my other videos. I'm not using a rail driver. What I'm using, I feel like it's better than a rail driver. I did order the rail driver. He came in, and it was okay, but I just felt like my Thrustmaster controller, which has 4 axes across, was better made, and it's got long throws. The brakes, the independent, the train brakes, the dynamic brake levers. Look at my other videos, the Rail Driver Alternative. It's a flight sim controller, but I mean, it's just a piece of plastic. That's all it is. It's got 4 axes across the top, and they're kind of laid out just like the desktop setup on the newer style engines. You got a piston to get down to 15, so I'm putting a little more brake on. You know, I worked on a large yard. We didn't have no signals to deal with, so, you know, I don't know a ton about all the signals. Tried to learn, you know. You feel it surge. You could see it surge right there. You could literally see the locomotive surge a little bit. That's realistic. Remember that happening a good bit on our yards, because we would move 40, 50 cars around all the time. That's the reason we ended up leasing Norfolk Southern engine, because our smaller engines just couldn't handle it. I'm saving my progress. Need to do that every so often. I wish there was a quick key you could just hit and save. Or like Run 8. I hate comparing it to that, but Run 8 is... You can set it up. It automatically will save every so many minutes you want it to save. If it just had these graphics. So now we've been cleared up to 45. I see we've got a 100-mile-an-hour coming up for a speed limit. Of course, we're not doing that. I know Norfolk Southern on the AGS is 50. I don't know what it is for CSX on this. We'll probably stick to 50 or something like that. I don't know what the speed limit is. But generally, you know, 50, 60 miles an hour would be the limit for freight trains, I think. Looks good. I like the water, the way they done it. It looks real good. Yeah, it feels real good. Just the way the trains, just the slight movements and everything. when you run in these northeast corridors, I mean, you really don't use your horn that much because you don't have a lot of road crossings, grade crossings. So, not really using the crappy horn that much. Still want to get that fixed though. I need a better horn than that. Needs to be a little louder. A little bit better. Man, I wish Run 8 had this scenery. If Run 8 had these graphics, I mean, I would never play this Trainsimworld unless they really up their game. But because the graphics are so good, you find yourself kind of coming back and just trying to make it work. You know what I mean? Trying to make, you know, make it as good of a freight sim as you can, possibly, within the limits that you're allowed. I mean, we've only got 18 miles to go, so I'm not really worried about speed. You just got to be real careful. Pay attention to that upper right, all those signals and stuff, because if you mess up and run through something, you'll get that service failure and you'll be kicked back to the last checkpoint or save. You can load the last checkpoint, which sometimes is a good ways back, or your latest save. That's just some of the things about if you're going to try and do freight. I mean, you got to do it passenger too, but I mean, usually when you're switching out rail cars and stuff like that, switching yards, you can spend hours in there, and you could, if you're not doing saves and backup saves, you could lose all that work and have to start over again. So I go into my save file too, and it'll copy that, back that up, make a copy of that. So timetable free roam. And I've got some other videos out on the New Jersey Transit where I talked about that. I did a little switching around on that route. Yeah, they're not gonna like me too well holding up passenger trains. Most likely this stuff's probably done at night, but this is my first time on the route, and I'm just gonna kind of see that right there. That's realistic, the way that's bobbing side to side like that. We're kind of going up a little bit of a grade right now, getting tension on the couplers. Feel the load tightening at the back, pulling on the train. Look at all these trains sitting here. Oh me. Yep, they're all waiting on me probably. Sorry, Amtrak, Metro North, M8s. I know y'all. Oh, look at those lights up ahead in the window. 3 of those lights. That's off the Amtrak. That's a glow from the Amtrak lights. See? It's pretty good. I mean, if anybody from Trainsimworld is watching this, guys, you've got a diamond in the rough here, I'm telling you. I know it's the Northeast Corridor, but freight could be so huge. You could bring in a lot of new players. If you could just put more effort toward the freight side. Really good scenery. See that light blinking? Alerts fits to come on. Catch it before it does. It's probably going to be a mess up here at Stamford. But, you know, it is what it is. I haven't dug down deep, in depth, and there could be some videos out there, I don't know, I'll look and see, on how they actually run these. But, now I know if CSX is going to come up here to the Marvel Yard, I don't see any other way they can do it but this way. If it's coming from Oak Point Yard, you basically got to do it this way, because I'm pretty sure you're not going to ride the back of rail cars all the way up here to this Marvel siding industry. So they're either bringing freight down from Stamford up here, or they're doing this, coming up here and then running around. And like, we were back there at that New Market, world's largest food distribution network center. You know, they may do that and go right straight back to Oak Point, because there's going to be a lot of cars involved in that. They may do that, go back to the yard, then do this, or, you know. Now, the Oak Point deal, or the Hunts Point Market, they could probably do that in the daytime, because you get back in there and you can just stay back in there for the most part. But like this switches up here, these may be more done at night. Like I said, we're on the timetable free roam, so as this time kick, it's 11:42 now in sim time. We're about midday. Nighttime will be approaching, and it looks like what's probably going to happen, half of my switching is going to be done at night, because you can't adjust the time. And if you want, when you're doing the freight like this, you don't want to start over. So you just got to let the clock keep ticking and keep on working. It's just night videos on train sims, or any sim for that matter, you just don't see as good. Videos are better in the daytime, in my opinion. and I'm unable to use my Windows key to get to my OBS to see how the stream's doing. I could bring it up on my phone. Hopefully it's still doing good. Usually I don't drop any frames on Sundays, so hopefully the stream's still doing good. I can't, my Windows key is not bringing it up, and I went in and tried to fix those issues, but it looks like I did. Disabled the full screen optimizations, and I'm on Windows full screen. Never had that problem with Run 8, but yeah, I can't bring up, I'm hitting the Windows key and I can't bring up to see the OBS, see how the frame rate's doing. Let's see where we at. Oh, we just passed the Marbles yard. Let's go back. Yeah, there's the two copper cars, and this is really like that. And they probably use satellite imagery to get it right, because there's actually two cars, hopper cars. Well, there's three. They got one sitting right here too. Didn't see it. This is Marvel's Industry Yard here. We'll have to get it on the way back down from Stamford. So there's the Metro 8 and following us. Let's see. Probably on a different track. Yeah, they're going to be passing us. Look at this scenery. Man, it's nice. Metro train, he's on our track. Figured it had done moved him off to another track. Let's Run 8 it then. We're holding him up. Uh-oh. He's slowing down. I must have got an alerter when I was outside the train. I wasn't supposed to. What is going on? I wanted to keep the alerters on for realism. But when you're outside the train and you get the alerter, but I know the alerters are real important on the northeast corridor, because sorry, man. Ma'am. Yeah, when I got the alerter when I went outside to look at the marble yard. We got to switch out. I can look on my phone to see how the stream's doing. Hey Don, I don't know if you're still there. Yeah, I backed out on the fiber. I can reset it up though. I had a scheduling conflict, really. It's already run to my house. They just got to come out and set up the boxes and stuff. Yeah, I might still go with a fiber. I just need to reschedule. Looks like the stream's still doing good. It looks real good on my phone, so. What do you think about it, Don? It looks pretty good, don't it? I know it's not run 8, but if we could just get some of the freight features run 8 has, and some of it seems pretty easy, like being able to change the rail cars from loaded to empty and stuff like that. I mean, that would just make a huge difference for me. If I could get that, and I could get the walking around mode while on the ground switching, instead of floating. Right now, you have to float around. I don't like that. The only walking around you can do is the actual engineer getting out of the locomotive walking around. I mean, you could do that, throw switches, but it'd take you all day to do anything. Which now, locomotive engineer getting out, throwing the switch up by the locomotive, that's common. I did that a lot to help out. But the yard I worked on, we always had at least 2 guys out on the ground, at least. Sometimes 3. And one guy would usually stay up toward the front for the front side, and another guy be at the back. We had plenty of help. It was a big yard though. You're shipping 30, 40 hopper cars a day. I think the average might have been 20 something, but there were times we shipped a bunch. This is the new Metro North route, Stamford. We're heading up to Stamford now for the impossible turnaround. That's what I'm gonna call it. We're headed up to Stamford for the impossible runaround. Yeah, because I don't think it's enough track up here, and I got too many cars, and I may have to delete some AI trains. But I've got to get this. I've got to run around this train and get on the other end. I like how I don't really know. I ain't played this thing in months, so I don't know if they've improved the sound, but the sound is really good in the industries. I know Run 8's done that too, improved their sound, but the sound has improved in the industries and stuff. And the wind blowing, the trees and the bushes and stuff. I mean, all that looks real good. I've got everything at my disposal here. I've got the SD40. I've got every variant of it. Paint schemes. I've got the new modern CSX engines. I've got the MP15 paint schemes because I own the Peninsula MP15, which I also operated that on our yard in real life. We had one similar to that one. It was painted up in the blue Amoco scheme, like the other locomotive in my profile pic. But they eventually, I think they kept the MP15. They never got rid of it. They kept it as emergency backup. But they got rid of the blue engine that was in my profile pic, the RWL 1000. I don't know what happened to it. It's gone. I'd love to be able to find it. It's sitting in some train cemetery somewhere, I guess. It's probably some expert out there that knows how to find it. But, you know, I don't have the serial numbers or any of that stuff on it. I was fortunate to find that picture because, like I said, when I was doing all that switching, this was in the 90s, and at that time, 1990 to 1997, when I was on the switch crew, we didn't have cell phones, so there wasn't a lot of pictures. I mean, I know you had cameras, but I just don't have I don't have any pictures really from that time period. Now, if I was doing that today, man, there would be selfies and all kind of stuff. But I was fortunate to find that picture. One of the train buff guys took it at our crossing out on the main road coming back to the plant. That's not me driving that train. That's actually the guy that trained me. I was probably loading hopper cars at that time because I did that for the first 6 months to a year, loaded rail cars and stuff, and then I went to the switch crew for the rest of the time. And the reason I left there in 97, I got hired in the plant as a chemical operator. It was Amoco then it became BP Amoco. Now they sold that out, and it's Indorama or something like that. One of the customers bought the plant so they could keep getting their product. It's a chemical plant, and they used it to make plastics and stuff. And I'll tell you something interesting about that place. You know how the water bottles are really thin now? You know, your water bottles, they're real thin. All right, we developed that there at Amoco in Decatur, Alabama. I didn't personally. That was another part of the plant, different from where I worked, but I knew all about it before the world did. I knew that was coming. That process of being able to make thinner plastic bottles. It was all developed right there at that Amoco plant where I worked. Pretty interesting. I knew that was coming. It took them a couple of years, but they got it. And that's why your water bottles is super thin now, less plastics. They developed it so that the water bottles could still be strong enough, but use less plastic. And I think this was in the early 2000s is when all that began, development on it. All right, 7 miles to the impossible runaround. Well, we got a little breathing room from Metro North on our tail, because I assume they stopped back there to load passengers. Cut that on before I go out to a different view. A lot of these rail cars I got off the Formation Creator, and most of them's loaded. Go in Formation Creator and download loaded cars and stuff like that. Most of the stuff you get in Trainsimworld is empty. Don't need to stay out of the train too long when you got alerters on. Let's see. If it's gotten any better up here. Not much better. I got to be able to run around my cars. I mean, we'll get out of the situation. We'll get turned around. Something else too, which I should have brought 2 locomotives. And I know I can get up here and pop one on the track and do that. But we're going to have to run long, good, forward, back down. I don't like that. Yeah, we'll be a tandem. Which, you know, I didn't want the extra locomotive. I didn't think we were going to need it. And really we don't for what we're doing. Because I only got like maybe 22 cars. But when I got to Hunts Point, when we first started out, I didn't realize that industry was that big. You need 2 locomotives to switch that industry. You're not going to be able to switch that industry anyway and come all the way up here and then come back down to switch the Marvel yard. The Marvel siding. Stream's still looking good. I'm looking on my phone. I can't get to OBS to check it, but it's looking good. For anybody, which, you know, anybody that sees this video, my videos are going to be different than a lot of other people's, slightly, because I'm going to be doing it heavily from the conductor side at the back. People who watch my videos know what I'm talking about. It'll be car countdowns. It'll be just how we did it on our yard. We're 5 miles out from the impossible runaround. It's beautiful scenery. Beautiful. Maybe I've been in run 8 too long. It's challenging when you do this northeast corridor. It's pretty challenging. I'm pretty sure midday this freight train wouldn't be on this corridor right now. This would probably be happening tonight. And unfortunately, if I'm going to keep doing it like this, a lot of my stuff, at least half of it's going to be at night, because when you do the timetable free roam, you just got to let it play out hour by hour, just like the sim time. You can't change the time of day or any of that like run 8. You just got to do it. But there's plenty of work to do, plenty of stuff to do, so we'll be busy at night. There's the alerter. 4 miles out. Miles out from the impossible runaround. All right, we've covered a lot of ground. I gotta save it because I don't know where the last checkpoint is, and I'm not taking that chance. Just replied to somebody on here. Unlike you, it's all about freight. Still going to hang on the Run A. There are so many different jobs you can do on the Run A. Yes, it is, Don. You're right. Yeah, me too. I'm not giving up Run A. I'll go back to it. As a matter of fact, I went back to it yesterday. And you kind of need to stick with it because it's so hard to learn. You know how long it took you to learn Run A. And I had to do, that's why I print off a lot of stuff. Yeah, I think the graphics, they could improve them. Yeah, because, what train sim? I had 10,000 cars in the world at one point when I was down there at Waycross. That's a lot of rail cars. Yeah, you can't do that. It'd be interesting to see what the Trainsimworld look like at Waycross. Huh? There's the Acela. See, I got that. I purchased that. I got a lot of money tied up in Trainsimworld. That's one of the reasons I come back over here, just to try it out. I'll still do Run A stuff too. I got a lot of money in Run A. I just wish Trainsimworld, look, they're guys in Britain. They're English guys. I get it. They're more attuned to what's going on over there, but I wish they could get somebody to really focus more on American freight. But I do think Run A could up the graphics a little bit. Now, some of the rail cars the rail car packs they've been adding is really up the game. Yeah, they're a lot better. Some of the tank car packs, just box car packs. Yeah, some of the latest packs, they've really upped the graphics on them. I just think if they could upgrade the scenery a little bit would help too. But I totally get it. Yeah, you don't want to give away the frame rate either, but I think they could do a little more and still keep a healthy balance. I do have a powerful graphics card, and my graphics card, like I said earlier, it's probably taking a smoke break, chill, drinking a beer while I'm playing Run A, because it ain't doing nothing. Now, y'all can't see it, but I'm running 112 frames per second with my NVIDIA frame rate counter in the upper right. The lowest I've seen it was maybe 50 something, 60, low 60s. I don't have the fastest processor, but it's up there pretty good. It was like top 10 or 15 processors. I don't recall the name of it, what speed it was, but it was one of the top ones. And I got a lot of RAM too. I think I got 1 gig of RAM, I think I got 2 500 gig sticks, I believe. It's been a while, I have to look. I know I could be going a little faster, but I've been talking, not paying attention. We're dropping down to 50 up here anyway. 1.4 miles. We're just gonna have to get up here, assess the situation. It ain't changed any, because these cars has been sitting up here for hours and hours. I started at 5 a.m. this morning, sim time, switching Oak Point, getting cars situated, switching a couple of industries there at the yard, Oak Point, and those cars has still been sitting up here, so they're parked. Now they'll probably be starting up later to some timetable. That's why you really want the timetable where you can have the AI trains like Run A. But you want the free roam. You don't have to do the free roam, but if you don't do the free roam, you're just stuck with those very dry basic Hope I ain't coming in too fast. One of my biggest gripes with the passenger part of Trainsimworld is like I did the New Jersey Transit, and it's probably because mainly I was with the ALP 45 and 46. It's the passengers would never load or load or unload. You'd stop at a place like this right here, and nothing would happen. I mean, it's a passenger train sim. They should load and unload. What's that there? Aggregate car. That Metro North train. Yeah, I got them held up. Yeah, M8, I think that's what it is. See what we're looking like coming into here. That's those aggregate cars. Oh. I don't know. I'm not good at pre-planning. Now in real life I was. We pre-plan all our moves. There's a big shop over here too. Maybe on up here. I'm just gonna let it ride out how I had it planned. I don't think it's gonna make any difference. There's the yard down there. Look at that. Big shop down there on far end. Man, oh man, that train's close. Uh-oh. Yep, I was afraid of that. Now see, it was supposed to have took me back. Here's the problem. Do I want to load the last checkpoint or go back to the main menu? I missed that switch. It should have been thrown because it showed me going in on a clear track. But you see what happened. Let's see if it'll let me go back. Hope I ain't messed up. It's a downside to life. Okay. See, I've lost my information. See where we are. See, I ain't got my information up top, but my route's still in. Okay. Okay, we're not too far. Now see, if I'd have loaded the last checkpoint, I knew that rail car train looked too close. But looky here. See? I'm supposed to be set up to go right in here, not hit this train. Ah, the switch. The route's set, but the switch ain't. Now then, that's my fault, see? I see now. My goodness. See, I just don't have enough experience with Trainsimworld. God, that was ridiculous. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, me. I relied too much on thinking the route set up, all the switches were going to be thrown. It didn't even look at that switch, and if I'd have looked closely, I'd have clearly seen it wasn't thrown. Well, at least we know it can derail. That may be the first time I've actually derailed on a head-on impact like that. That was pretty traumatic. Lesson learned. Can't believe I missed that switch. The only way I know to get my info back up is to reset the route. Remove path. Go back. Keep getting that. I need to label these keys. Set path. Tell you what, I may change it up. Let's try that. And let's go ahead. Remove that train. Help us out. Like I said, I don't like doing this. This is my first time on this route. Not familiar with the area. I think we can do all this. Yeah. We'll leave these cars on this longer part, and then we just need a little short trunk, just the engine to run around. These cars here is in the way. Let's remove that train. Okay. Yeah. So now though. There comes another train. Well, removing him. Just trying to get it situated up here. There we go. Now, I think we've created a little bit better situation up here now. Like how it sounds going over those switches too. Ah, shoot. Don't get a service failure. I didn't see that light. Dang, I don't want to start over again. I wonder what the last checkpoint is. I may be regretting this. That's the thing about Trainsimworld. If you make a mistake like that, you'll pay for it. Oh God, that's bad. Not good. Let's see if we can get back. Yep, we're probably back where we was. We are. I'm sorry we keep having to do this. If you get to this point, if you're rewatching this stream, just fast forward it till we get into Stamford. I got to get all this fixed up. I'm just not used to Trainsimworld, not paying attention. Probably shouldn't have been doing this live. Right. See, I got to remove that path. Do it again. What am I coming in on? That one right there. I'm just gonna see. Remove train. Remove train. There's probably going to be another one coming in I'm going to have to remove. Set these switches up. That one. Yeah, I remember that train. I'm going to remove him too. Something must have happened. Another train, something happened. Gave me the red light. There we go. Okay. Gotta start watching for that. I'm yellow right there. I'm red right there. That's what I'll run through. Yellow. Shows to be red right there. Yellow right there. I gotta watch it. Well, we're still only 2 miles out. So I've had to restart twice. Once from a derail, second from a red light. We will get to Stamford. That's what I'm saying. If you make a mistake in Trainsimworld, you pay dearly. Just mainly by the way the save works. Go ahead and save again. So we don't have to start further back. And hopefully we ain't got to restart. But I'm being prepared. Right now we got yellow signals. We're going to be slowing down to 15 coming up. I think the signal we got a red on before is yellow now. I'm looking at it. Man, I wish that horn was better. So you see it on the map, and then you get in here into the sim, and you say, this looks a lot smaller. Being extra careful. Got a clear, got a yellow. Switches is set. We're not heading on. Not gonna do a head on. Thank goodness. Oh, so my plan is to drop these on this track we're going in on right here, and then run around these two metro trains and come around this way and get back in front of our load. That way we can go back down, drop off at Marvel Siding. Yeah, these trains has been sitting here all day. They're not moving. Nobody's in them. Just idling on through. I may stop before I go down this other path. I want to see how much room I got. The switches is aligned for me. Well, this is the side. Yeah, I've reached my objective point, but we ain't complete. Stop right here for just a second. Let's look at our options. Okay, okay, I see some. Manual switch too. Yeah. Okay. There's the wash facility. Okay. Yeah. Now that I'm down here, can see it. Let's take a look at this. This is the big service yard. They shop. Yeah, we can do some stuff down here too. Need to put some more cars in here. They intentionally don't put a lot of stuff down here for frame rate. You can go in and add some stuff, which we will do. But the impossible to run around is not going to be so impossible now. Reached our objective. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to keep going down this way. Yeah. Definitely want to throw this one. I love how those switches sound too. I don't know, it's just different. Run 8 sounds is good too, but I really. So we'll run the engine through this switch and then come back through. We'll come down through here. Down through here. We need to throw this one. And we'll get back to our original plan. This is looking real good. Come through here. Go around this head-on train that we derailed earlier. Hitting him head-on because stupid me. Wasn't paying attention. The switch, and it was a manual switch. It's just a parked train. You know what? He's too far up. We gotta do something about that. He needs to be further back. Yeah. If this was run 8, I'd make it because they would just kind of bleed together, but this is Trainsimworld. I hadn't played it in a while. I have a feeling that ain't gonna work this time. Make sure that's right. Okay, now we got some room. I don't like doing that, but it's not a biggie. Okay. Let's see how much we like. We gotta be able to get around. Man, we still like. I've got those 4 reefer cars still back there. Okay, so let's set our path. Set our path to right here. Hopefully that wasn't another train coming in, because yeah, right there. See, that'll mess you up, man. But I mean, I get it. They're busy. All right. We got plenty of room. We just got to get about 5 cars. 5 to 6 car lengths further up. Oh, that one train's going in the wash. That's neat. We had that on the New Jersey Transit. sure I'll have to rethrow them switches, yeah. Because he's going through there, gonna mess it all up. I may have to delete him if he don't get out of the way. We'll see. Yeah, this top switching brake movement's better for, 2 a.m. stuff. Oh yeah, oh we're way up here, we're real good. Okay. Grab on the side of the car again. Alright. This is where I wish, like run A, you just jump down. You can, but you're the engineer. You lose control of the train. You walk. Kind of float. I like another thing too. I like the way you can really do the brakes. The way you do the handle brakes on your trains. All right. Just stay on the back. Stand gear on this like this. What we're going to do in the future, this is just my first time, we'll incorporate moving some cars in and out of the shop down there, because they do work on freight cars and different things down there too. It's mainly passenger, but they do work on freight cars too, small amount. Most likely would be stuff, emergency type fixes up this way, I'm assuming. I done learned, if you don't set your path, you can get into some problems. Trains running into you, don't really see you. You set your path, it seems like. There goes another train in the way. My goodness. Going to be blocked by this other train. We'll see. Set my path right here. We gotta let this train get by. Nope. Go ahead and save our progress. He would have stopped, I assume, but he was going right in our way. Why couldn't he just went straight that way? I guess he needs to, I don't know. Why couldn't he have? See, look. He could have got back on up there. Why you gotta come straight at me, man? That switch was thrown, but those AI trains, they can throw them to set the path. that high. See, that's why we need real. Oh, I see what's going on. Wrong camera. Free camera. Not a free roam. Showing 76 frames per second right here on this one. Yeah, this guy come down from the yard down here. That's why this switch is thrown back. Pretty loud down here. There we go. Trainsimworld, fix where we can walk around as a conductor with freight instead of floating around. Just like the locomotive engineer, he can get out and walk around. Or when you start out on foot, fix it so we can drive the train and still do realistic switching. Looks like I could just keep on going that way. I could go straight on. Maybe. I don't know. It could be farther. What is this switch? Is this where the route's taking me? I thought I took that outer train. I guess since I deleted that train, I'm just going to go this way. Path, but I don't even see a path. Is it because I'm going backwards? No, it's got the point, they just don't show it. Okay. I'm just being extra careful because, man, you can get messed up. Service failure. I'm not going to do last checkpoint. I did just save it, so it's a good thing. We only got to start. But when I do this again, we'll have 2 locomotives. Especially with that Hunts Point. There's a lot of cars in there. So I got a red light here in a minute. I'm gonna make sure that stop before that. I like the way these tracks are spread out realistically apart, but I tell you what, and it may be really like that, I ain't looked at it close. Oak Point Yard, which I didn't video it, but that's where I spent a lot of hours switching around stuff, switching cars, a couple of industries there. The tracks were very close together. I mean, it's like really, just barely enough room for you to walk between the cars. It would definitely be dangerous if you're riding on the side of a rail car. Know in real life that the tracks are that close together. It's a tight area there in the Bronx, so it may really be like that. Train that's moved into the way it's reasonably light. It shows red. I see what happens. See that signal is yellow, but up there on the upper right it's red. I'm just used to yellow me and I still go through. All right. Let's see what's happening. Had to fix that. Still red. Set a path. See, I didn't have a red signal. I don't get that. Yeah, it was still showing yellow, but the red signal went away up on the top menu. This is the frustrating thing with Trainsimworld. Which it complicates matters when you're trying to operate on a passenger route. Trains ahead of time so we can get out of this predicament and get in. That path. It's important when you're doing freight services, especially trying to do things like this to save as much as possible. When we get down here, we'll do another save. Nobody wants to keep watching the same thing over and over again. I just really didn't see a lot of freight videos on the new route. See, we got that red signal up there again. We may be in trouble if we can't pass that signal. I called it the impossible runaround, and it's turning out to be one. I thought it wasn't going to be. We got the room to do it. It's just being able to maneuver around it. let's set our path a little further down, see if that makes a difference. See if I can figure out what the problem is. If it's a switch. Yeah. See, Run H, you could just click it, but we got to do it. I hope it'll let us. Way to get on that other track. See if I can figure out how to get this switch thrown up here. Oh, I'm at a predicament. Can't get a signal to get over there. I mean, I know how I can get the train over there, but I'll have to delete the current one and then go over there and walk on the track and pop it over there. That may be the only way to get out of this situation, because I've tried everything. Showing any signals, and I'm just wondering if it's got something to do with the direction my locomotive's facing. You know, I've got my reverser in reverse. It shouldn't matter. Man, I really don't want to leave. Makes me wonder, just my rail cars being there is doing that. I really want to make this work without deleting the locomotive. And I'm just wondering if that is being held like that because do this then. We're gonna come back up here. I hate we're having to spend a lot of time on this, but I did call it the impossible runaround. And that's what it's turning out to be, but I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to pull these cars off of that track. Some things around, see if I can figure out, push them down this other track. I'm trying to keep from deleting the locomotive. That's kind of cheap. I want to figure it out on my own. I want to be able to come up here and do this. I want to be able to come up here, you know, switch this yard back here, the shop, and go back down and switch the other. hopefully I got enough room to get on up here. To get all these cars through. I don't know if we're going to have enough room. That's good enough. Go ahead on through the switch, about 2 cars. One more. About a half. Quarter. 2 wheels. One more. A little more. That ought to do it. Come on back. Set up another save. It's all manual switches through here, so I'm hoping I can just move around without causing any failures. Pushing down this track here. It'll be a wreck sitting down there this way. About a half a car. Let's go and save it. Quarter. 10 feet. 8 feet. 6, 4, 2. Good enough. A little bit more. About 5 feet. Four, 2, 1. Good enough. May be wasting our time here, but we'll find out. I'm just trying to avoid deleting a locomotive. I don't want it to defeat me. I mean, I hadn't played Trainsimworld in a while. It could be I'm missing something here. Could it be this issue? See any more trains? Just gonna remove them all, see if they make a difference. Man, I gotta get these keys. Get these. Let's set a path through here. And then set a waypoint. Be a waypoint. Let me do it. Oh, I see. Hang on. Now it won't even remove the path. This is crazy. Alright, I'm gonna try one more thing. It won't even remove the path now. ain't no guarantee this is gonna work either. Leave those off for now.